One day after the Christmas event, Quell made a poll saying, what do we think about taking 1-star stat from Bobbit's skill check stat and placing it into the movement speed stat instead? Bobbit switches from skill check 5-star down to 4-star, movement speed 2-star raised up to 3-star. And a poll was made, and 85% of people wanted that change, and the change was made. Most of the Christmas tunes basically have identical abilities to already existing tunes. Quell has said in the past, I actually intended that so I didn't lock many features behind an event, but I'll keep this feedback in mind, thank you. And Quell said, if you guys had to change how Ginger functioned, what would you do? I'd love to get further feedback and info on that, something that wouldn't entirely change her, but also would maybe make her more varied in use. This user suggested something that could be a bit advanced that I just thought of off the spot is that maybe she can get heals depending on how many machines she's finished, while also giving her better extraction speed like 4 stars, and after 4 machines you can give a heart. Core replied to this suggestion and said, that's an interesting one, we'll write down and consider, won't be doing any changes though unless I poll users. Ever since Bobbit came out, a lot of people have been hoping that she would get a rework. This user said, Bobbit needs a rework, it's so bad it's the worst main ever. This user said, may we petition to have Bobbit reworked since I feel like for a main tune she's very underwhelming compared to every other main in the game right now. Today a user asked Quell saying, Quell, I want to ask you this because it's been a while, you say you take criticism, right? Can I give criticism? Also, I have 2 questions. Quell replied saying, you're always free to give criticism while I'm in chat, yes, as long as it seems like an appropriate time to do so, go ahead. The user then said, thank you so much, here's the criticism. Since all mains are helpful to the team, can you maybe change Bobbit's stats and passive ability into something that can help the team? Quell then replied saying, I actually feel that both Ginger and Bobbit could use some adjustments, but I don't plan to adjust them until Christmas comes back around. I would like a lot of time to consider what to do with them and to ensure the characters remain enjoyable while also becoming more usable. Thanks for the criticism. A user said, what motivates you to think of readjusting Ginger? Something in her stats? Then Quell said, I just think her playstyle could be a bit more unique as most feedback I've received is her being too similar to her cousin Cosmo.
Before starting the video, I must clarify that I am neither a scriptwriter nor a skilled researcher. Some information may escape my radar, so if there's anything I missed or you'd like to add, feel free to leave it in the comments. Now let's begin. Some time ago, a mod of Incredibox started making some noise on YouTube, and I'm talking about none other than Sprunky, a fan game of Incredibox made on Scratch by Nyanko BF LOL, also a fan of Incredibox. This mod, which started as a simple Scratch modification by a fan for other fans in this small community, turned into a monster that, unknowingly, would ultimately affect the poor young creator of the fan game. But before continuing, let's review the story of its creator. Nyanko is a 15-year-old who was, and still is, a fan of FNF, as suggested by his name. In mid-2023, Nyanko began composing a few simple tracks, which he uploaded to his YouTube channel. These songs were simple, but showed that the boy was talented in composing music and designing characters. This continued for the rest of 2023, where he primarily composed horror-themed tracks for Scratch games. At the start of 2024, Nyanko joined the Incredibox community and began developing his own mod called Static, which wouldn't be completed until early October. In the meantime, Nyanko created several videos about this game, further solidifying his status as just another fan. However, all of his projects and videos before Sprunky went largely unnoticed by the community, until one day in early September when Nyanko uploaded the fan game Sprunky to his Scratch account. This marked the beginning of the end. Soon after, Nista Here, the largest YouTuber entirely dedicated to Incredibox, uploaded a video featuring the mod, making it popular within the small community. This fan game brought an interesting concept that set it apart from other Incredibox fan games and mods. Specifically, upon reaching the final voice of the mod, the entire game shifted to a more horror-like aesthetic, with all the sounds changing as well. This feature contributed to its initial popularity within the Incredibox community. At some point, this fan game gained its own sub-fandom within the larger Incredibox community, which propelled its fame even further. More Incredibox YouTubers like Potaman, Azarus, and Artemi, the community's second largest channel, featured the mod on their channels. It's also worth noting that around this time, another popular mod, Colorbox Mustard, a parody of Baggerhead's or Freepy's Colorbox series, had been released. However, it didn't achieve the same level of popularity, at least not initially. This emerging sub-fandom soon caught the attention of YouTubers outside the Incredibox community. The mod's popularity reached new heights when Degaboom, a Spanish-speaking YouTuber with over 20 million subscribers, featured it on his channel. It's worth mentioning that he referred to the fan game as a mod of a game called Incredibox. From that point on, Sprunky skyrocketed as the most popular Incredibox mod, both within and outside the community. Its success overshadowed the original game, along with all its other mods and fan games. Nyanko, whose Scratch version of Sprunky had been deleted by this point, began noticing its growing popularity. As a result, he updated the game on Cocrea, warning new users that this was, in fact, a mod of Incredibox. Unfortunately, this move had little impact. Along with its rising popularity came an increase in pirated and fraudulent pages copying the project to generate traffic on their websites. At this point, the Incredibox community feared the worst, and it happened. Lankybox, an infamous channel known for brain rot and cringy content, discovered the game. Intrigued by its seemingly cute aesthetic that later turned horrific, they wasted no time uploading it to their channel. This essentially doomed the game, turning it into a target for brain rot and low-quality content in general. From here, things went from bad to worse. The game was desecrated in every possible way, with low-quality animations, songs, and profane fan art. Meanwhile, Incredibox was separated from its name entirely. People began recognizing it simply as Sprunky, pushing the original game further into obscurity. And what happened to Nyanko? Well, witnessing the recent chaos and realizing his efforts to make Incredibox more visible had been in vain, Nyanko began to regret ever creating the fan game. Though he still loved the game, he felt bad that his own creation had spiraled out of control, stealing attention from Incredibox and becoming an object of cringe. The lowest point and most feared outcome arrived when a channel with around 108,000 subscribers uploaded a video showcasing rip-offs of Sprunky. Ironically, among the games they labeled as blatant copies was the original Incredibox game, specifically its second version, Little Miss. Also included were Colorbox, Mustard, and Express, a simulation version. This was the breaking point, sparking outrage within the small community. The video's comment section was filled with insults and criticism of the creators' poor or non-existent research, as it was clear they had made the video with minimal effort just to farm views, like any other brain rot or cringe channel. Now comes the darkest and most pathetic part of this story. Just a few days ago, a user named Fura Parlo hacked Nyanko's Discord account, deleting his server and his account. On top of this, they threatened to release photos of Nyanko and his family, as well as dox him. Let's remember, Nyanko is just 15 years old. As if that wasn't enough, they also threatened to publish audio recordings of Nyanko with his family. This pathetic individual probably thinks they're being Sigma, simply for opposing cringe and sprunky, as if that would somehow stop the brain rot. Supposedly, they also accused Nyanko of being a pedophile, deceiving another user, the king of autism, into helping with the hack. Later, this user realized the truth, apologized to Nyanko, and assisted him in recovering from the hack. Meanwhile, Paolo continues threatening to dox and release photos. Nyanko, exhausted by the situation, decided to take a break from the internet, whether for a week, a month, or whenever he feels ready to return. And that's perfectly okay. In the end, this whole story makes us reflect on how easily situations can spiral out of control with no idea of what might happen next. Nyanko never deserved this. All he did was create a fan game of Incredibox that became popular and was overtaken by brain rot. Despite opposing it, his attempts to highlight Incredibox were futile, only for some fool who thinks they're Sigma to come along and try to ruin this young boy's life. Let's hope they don't succeed. To conclude, I'd like to make my position clear. The fan game itself was quite good, an interesting and fresh concept for the community. But it spiraled out of control, leading to trash content and pirated re-uploads, which I obviously oppose. Let's hope the Incredibox community, along with any others who wish to join, can unite against this common enemy, so that in the future, people don't have to go through situations like the one described in this video. My name is CJUPA22, and that's all for now. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next Incredibox mix. Goodbye.
Hi guys, I just got banned for lagging somehow because it triggered the anti-exploit. I have really bad Wi-Fi and I think that's what triggered to happen. And I don't know what to do now. I got Astro like yesterday and today I'm banned because of lag. That's so sad. Cry.
Is Monsterverse a copy of Royal High? Before answering this question, we must explore a few elements. What makes something a copy? A copy is basically when something is the exact same as the original creation, but with a different name and almost no change. For example, copying someone's outfit on Royal High, or stealing someone's artwork. What's the difference between inspiration and copying, and what draws the line between the two? Inspiration is a feeling of enthusiasm, joy and passion to create your own version or idea by creating something new with what you've been inspired by. Copying would be doing the same story, designs, but with different character names, colors, whatever. Inspiration is when you see something and make your own version or idea of it. Drawing the line between the two can be difficult sometimes, but when you're inspired by something, you may only take a few elements and put it into your own creation that's ultimately completely different. For example, fashion. Fashion is inspired and influenced by past fashion. Fashion designers create looks by developing a concept and taking inspiration from fashion archives, literature, art, music, culture, film, and so on. You could say the same thing about game developers. For example, Royal High was originally based off of Winx Club. If you don't know, the game was originally named Fairies and Mermaids Winx High School. It was basically a copy of the show, honestly, until later was reworked to be a fantasy high school dress-up roleplay game. I would say it's impossible to be interested in games and fashion and not be influenced by what you're consuming. Monsterverse is taking the fantasy Roblox high school genre and doing their own version of it, obviously inspired by Monster High. Royal High was not the first of its kind and it definitely won't be the last either, but I won't deny Royal High did develop into something that set the stage for future dress-up games on Roblox. The line between copying and inspiration starts to become blurry when the person's work is imitation rather than inspiration. For example, Overblocks aka Overwatch and Flee the Facility aka Dead by Daylight, you kind of get the gist of what I mean. Peach has stated before that Monsterverse isn't like any other game in this category. Obviously, only time will tell if she's telling the truth. I personally have faith, but we can only wait and see. Also, Scarlet said that they've only given us like 20% of the game. I think more has been given out at the time of that being said, but yeah, take that as you will. Can you copyright an idea or concept? You cannot copyright an idea itself, but rather the expression of that idea. For example, wearable halos in the game. You might think that Royal High created this idea of accessorized halos, but they did not. This existed far back into the early 2000s in other games, not even on Roblox, such as World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, and probably a bunch of others. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Royal High didn't have a significant role in popularizing halos. Yes, Royal High wasn't the first game to create wearable halos, but it shifted how halos are perceived in Roblox. By restricting them to be extremely rare to win, event-based with unique designs, and part of a social status within the game. The halo culture that was created from Royal High has influenced numerous creators and artists on Roblox to make their own halos, making Royal High the trendsetters, if you will. But like I said before, Royal High didn't create wearable halos, and that idea and concept of wearable halo aesthetics is not copyrightable. It would be 100% an issue if Monsterverse, for example, copied a halo design from a Royal High artist though. That would be considered plagiarism, copyright, and just an ethical violation in the art community. What are some similarities and differences between Monsterverse and Royal High?
Massive leaks on Monsterverse just came out.
Hello, Finn the Finish here. Before I start the video, let me give you the context. Goop threatened Exon to grief him for stealing his machine, but I defend Exon saying he didn't mean to steal it. I even say Goop stole my machine at floor 7, but I didn't say anything when he stole it. So after that, he griefed Exon to death and tried to grief me too.
I have made it. Shut up, Astro. I'm trying to talk. I didn't expect to make it this far. I was playing with a friend. They died back like what, floor 15? I kept pushing. Here we are. And I don't know what to do. Shoo, fly. Don't bother me. I'm trying to beat my high score. What's my high score? I don't know. Like maybe 23, 22. I'm too close to give up. Uh-oh. That was a pickle. Oh my god, bro, you're both... Okay. I can avoid both.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another rant video. Today I am going to be ranting about some Roblox items that are getting worse. I also want to thank you guys for getting me to 700 subscribers. It means so much to me. For the past few months, some creators have been making UGC items which include text messages. The creators are really famous and have many sales on these items. But what's the problem with them? Listen out for the next chapter. One of the reasons why these items are bad is the text. Some are threatening of gore, and that's against the Roblox TOS. But stop, there's more. Recently, these creators have been making online dating items and rejecting the fact that they're promoting it on a kids game. With Roblox's new moderation system, someone can easily report you for your avatar, so if you wear any, be careful. I know it is a bit late to tell you this, but this video isn't a hate video, it just spreads awareness. Although most of these items and their creators are in danger, some items still have their innocence, like, for example, take these ones. If you are interested in these items, I wouldn't buy from these creators as they promote gore and online dating. Also, I uploaded my first Roblox shirt and here is a tutorial how to buy it.
This is how a fly broke Dandy's world's economy. At least I think so. So we all know that the Easter event of Dandy's world brought Flutter's brother, Flight. Flight is 700 baskets, so it's not hard to get him, but this is just the start. He has a 4-star movement speed and a 4-star extraction speed. The only downfall of him is his stamina. The stealth is normal, and the skill check is not really needed if you're A pro. And what makes him overpowered is his gust. He leaves a gust behind that gives people who walk into it a 15% movement speed for 5 seconds, and it just has a 50-second cooldown. So Flight can be useful in a solo run and a team run, making him S tier. So technically, Blush Crunch Studios did Flutter dirty by giving his brother one of the most overpowered stats in the game for technically 700 ichor and 50% research. You still would have to get that research that would take like 1 day or something, if you don't touch grass. But for the newbies, it's like 3 days. Unless you have Roger, that would cut that in half for 1.5 days. But that's how a little fly broke Dandy's World's economy. Let me know if you enjoyed the video by liking this vid. I don't have that much support right now, so it would also help a ton if you subscribed. Thank you for watching and have a good one.
That looks cringe as fuck.
Forsaken just dropped their biggest update yet, changing a survivalist to a sentinel, adding 2 giant new maps and like 50 new skins. But that's not really what this video is about. During the making of the previous video, I hyper-analyzed the maps and I got a really good idea of how map dependent this game has become. The recent few major characters have had a more and more complicated lineup of abilities to each survivor, and the maps seem to be leaning into a direction that is a bit less focused on gameplay consistency. This video is a rant about the seemingly upcoming feature to Forsaken, map voting, where players can select the map they want to play next. I really dislike the idea of this feature being in the game, which I've just split into this video into chapters of why. I highly suggest watching this video in order to fully get what I'm talking about, so let's get started. Before diving right into the new features teased for the update, I'll begin with an issue I hinted back in my previous video. But to rip off the band-aid, the maps in Forsaken are very different from each other from a gameplay perspective. The difference between
1 month ago, I made an exposed video on this Dandy's World YouTuber called Dummy Pants who uploaded clickbait titles using OC fan art from other people, claiming it to be new tunes. Since then, Dummy Pants has removed his videos. Dummy Pants has also hidden or deleted their channel, but it doesn't end there. It seems like Dummy Pants has 2 other secret channels that clickbait as well, called Dandy's Den and Miss Shelly. Both of these channels have a lot of subscribers, so they've definitely fooled a lot of people. Okay, but it doesn't stop there. What's even worse is that these 2 channels have duplicate content. This video from Dandy's Den and this video from Miss Shelly are the same video. As you can see, these are from the 2 different YouTube channels and they have the same videos. As you can see, 000 seconds, 000 seconds. So not only are these 2 clickbait channels run by the same person, they upload the exact same videos on both the channels and clickbait the Dandy's World community. As you can see, it's actually against the YouTube terms of service to post spam and misleading content. These channels are run by the same person and they post the same videos on both the accounts. I mean, like, how lazy can you get to not only have to clickbait people, but also upload the same video on multiple channels? Like, what? What's even worse is that this channel also edits Quell's Discord messages to make it look like the updates are today to get more views and trick people, which is actually so toxic. That's literally impersonation and fraud. So that's even on the cusp of illegal because that's not what they said. No, Quell has never said that. And to edit someone's Discord message to make it seem like they said something is literally illegal.
So I was live streaming and this happens.
The thing that I told you I never went into. Yo, what's up, purple dude? Welcome to the stream.
You help me, help!
Oh, I stab him! Run!
Okay, so you are not going to believe this. Actually, no. Okay, if you've been in the Roblox community for longer than 5 minutes, you probably will believe this. This is not the craziest thing to ever happen. So, the developer of Pet Simulator, yes, Preston or Big Games, whatever you want to call whoever is behind Pet Simulator, it's exactly the same guy that we've always talked about every time we talk about Pet Simulator doing something kind of ridiculous. Also the same guy who once got another Roblox game completely taken down just because it dared to have the square-shaped pets in it. Pretty much the same as what Pet Simulator has, you know, inside of Pet Simulator games you will find these pets that are also in the shape of squares. Like that's some kind of revolutionary concept that it just equips him with the power to completely take down other Roblox games if they have pets in them that are the same shape. But now he has been accused of straight up copying the entire idea behind Grow a Garden, which just so happens to be the most popular game on the platform right now. To be honest, I'm not too caught up with Roblox. I didn't even know that this existed, but it's crazy to see how popular it is right now. Like literally someone tweeted calling him a hypocrite, which is pretty much the exact perfect word for this entire situation. Like I can't even argue with that. The tweet has a screenshot for what I assume to be an upcoming update announced on the Roblox website for Pet Simulator. It's coming in 4 days with an update called Grow an Egg, and this entire concept, or maybe it's a new game, it might be a new game, but either way it's going to be called Grow an Egg, and the entire idea of this game is basically the entire concept of Grow a Garden. So they said the same developer that DMCA'd another game for having square pets is now copying the entire concept of Grow a Garden, the #1 game on the platform. Talk about hypocrisy. That's it, that is basically this entire thing, and yes, this is absolutely ridiculous. Taking a look at the similarities between Grow a Garden and this upcoming game or update, grow an egg, it's exactly the same thing, just copy and pasted. Now, someone in the replies did say, you can't copyright an idea, you can copyright the look of an item. Simulators and other games have had pets in them for a long time before, and since the DMCA, big games went after the ones that had a direct connection to the style of pets used, not the concept of pets themselves. Not that I approve of the behaviour, just wanted you to have the proper facts. Like, it's a little bit of a reality check because honestly they are not completely wrong in what they said. Like, yes, it's fair to say that you cannot copyright a game concept. So yes, Grow a Garden's idea and the entire concept of that game is not protected. Other games have definitely already copied it. It's inevitable that it's going to keep getting copied by all of these different developers, all of these different games. It's going to happen. It's going to keep happening for as long as Grow a Garden is the biggest game on Roblox, and as long as this idea, this concept of this game is the biggest thing on Roblox right now. But that is not the point here. The issue here is the hypocrisy. Big Games literally filed a DMCA takedown against another game for having square pets, not for having pets. The concept of pets is completely fine. So many games on Roblox have that, but specifically because the pets in that game were square shaped. They are now turning around and stealing entire mechanics from the #1 game on Roblox without a single care in the world. The game that he took down didn't even steal from him or copy from him, and worst of all, I mean, nobody had even really heard of that game, so that was obviously a smaller game, probably with one developer, and these smaller developers do not have the resources to fight back when a giant company like Big Games comes knocking on their door, basically. So they just get wiped out, whilst Preston gets to do the exact same thing, maybe even arguably worse, and then just walks away untouched, and actually walks away with a lot more money because of this new game. One person in the replies, they nailed it. They said, Preston just found a small loophole and took full advantage, and that's it. That is summing this entire thing up perfectly. But of course, the Pet Simulator fanbase did what they always do. They showed up to defend the game, to defend Big Games, even though they absolutely do not deserve to be defended. It's almost like a little cult, really, but the original person who called all of this out, yeah, they basically got attacked, harassed, completely swarmed. They ended up tweeting, Pet Simulator players are insane. It's a literal army that I don't want to go against. Most of them are kids that just mindlessly argue for the sake of defending their favorite development studios, and that is terrifyingly accurate. Like, you try to say one thing against Pet Simulator and suddenly you've got a bunch of 10-year-olds in your mentions typing full-on essays about why the game is perfect and how if you have so much against it, if you don't like the game, just don't play the game, or calling people jealous. It's like arguing with a mini army of these Pet Simulator fans who haven't even finished primary school yet, okay? They're not even out of nursery. But speaking of which, and other people talking about this, Schlep is clearly not afraid to speak his mind because he also decided to jump into this drama. He tweeted, has Preston had a single original idea for Pet Simulator in the last 3 years? Honestly, what he said is brutal, but it's very real. The reality is the brutality. I mean, it's not even shade at this point, it's just a genuine question, which the answer to it would be no. Then the original person who exposed the copy and replied saying, I posted about this and a whole swarm of brainwashed kids came attacking me while ignoring my proof and logic. Here is the post if you want to have a laugh. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the
What's up with Quill and making garbage tunes as trinkets, bro? It started in the Christmas event and now in the Easter. From this event, only flight and exit are useful, and the only main in it is incredibly trash. I'm even more surprised that Quill has the audacity to gatekeep the drop items mechanic in a limited time main tune, instead of making it a default mechanic. Guess the rumors about she being quite stupid were true. A lot of potential new something it had, and she dumped it all.
going undercover. Going undercover to unmask a massive secret. However, to complete this secret, I needed special currency. Iker. However, I had none. After doing some deceptive work, and I mean a lot of begging, I got my wish. I needed this Iker to prove people wrong. Everyone was telling me how this new tune brew was terrible, and I had to prove them wrong. Time to meet the suspect. Brew, which can apparently transform ultra rare items into healing for teammates. If you're anything like me, you're thinking to yourself, well, you transform it, how do you give it to the teammates? Because it's not like you can use Bassy. So I think you actually need to find ultra rare items on the ground and then press E on them. Yeah, we only got default Brew, but why is his eyeball dangling from his face? Bro, put it back in. That's gross. We got the Pebble Army right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Brew, though. Yo, this guy's got Brew as ideal too. What did I just say? Brew actually is so cool, man. His eyeballs could use some polishing, but overall, super cool design. His quirky tail does kind of look like a heart, though. It's kind of cute. BC for dogs only. Do I count? Does Brew count as a dog? The secret that everyone wants to know. Is that Shelly? Oh my gosh, Shelly. Also, I just want to point out, you can play as literally any characters that don't even exist, and yet this person still chose to play as Trempo.
So
Okay, I just want to talk about something really quick. I'm sorry about the voice, by the way. I couldn't voice act this video because of personal reasons. Long story short, I'm talking about this one channel named Gore Kitties with the letter Z or something, I don't know. If you do not know who this person is, they are not really known in the internet, but they make SMG for videos and other stuff. Behind this dude, they have been such a bitch about stuff I'm about to let out. I used to have an old channel before I transferred here. Keep in mind, I was around 10 to 12 years old when I had that old channel. Apparently, I made a non-issue drama video that was created 2 years ago in
Allah.
Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Super here. In this video, we're going to be talking about all types of bans on Roblox. Getting banned on Roblox is basically an account suspension. When you do something that's against the Roblox's terms of service, a user won't be able to access the Roblox platform through the suspended account. Bans can range from getting kicked from a Roblox game to getting permanently IP banned. We're going to be covering every type of ban / punishment that a player can receive, from the lightest to the worst ban. First kind of ban that we have is an inexperienced ban, or should we say an in-game ban. The player gets kicked from an experience and is not able to rejoin, so it is possible to get your Roblox account banned from a game permanently if you go against the rules or you're doing something that's likely bad things in that game. And this is not done by the Roblox moderation team or staff. This is done by the people that made that game, so the moderation team for that game or whatever, the developers. The very next one that you can get is a voice chat ban. If a player has voice chat enabled, they can get their voice chat permissions disabled until the ban expires. I'm assuming this would only happen if you're saying something really bad and while you're using voice chat in Roblox games. I've heard people say really bad things before in voice chat. I bet that moderation for
This Roblox developer needs to be locked up from showing violent disgust.
Alright, if you take a stroll down Roblox's front page, you'll quickly realize one thing. Have you ever started pumping your hog, tenderizing your steak till it becomes all juicy and fall off the bone, only to suddenly stop? Yeah, that's what Roblox ripoffs feel like. Because I keep getting blueballed, trying to find peak, but always ending up back at mid. However, that mid just makes the games that are good brick me up like nothing else. So please, join me as we explore the deranged world of Roblox ripoffs. Starting off with giving PTSD to children. The plan was supposed to be simple. It was supposed to be, but in reality it was nothing but a meat grinder for the both of us. Every moment standing is a dice roll, a hopeless prayer to a god we killed with our hubris, the howls of our arrogant creations pulverizing anything in its wake, reducing men to nothing but a memory of a human and buildings to dust. Not 1 second would.
One fateful night, Kraken was typing out a script when he had a startling realization. Roblox is so boring. And to go along with it, he had an unexpected visitor.
Hey!
Ah!
You know that won't do anything to me, right?
Oh, right.
Well, anyway, buddy, I'd have to disagree with what you said. Makes me the only one.
What do you mean?
I still find Roblox quite enjoyable, especially those events. I ate those up like I eat up Souls RNG updates.
Alright, Cringe Lord, that's just your opinion.
I don't care, I still want to fight about it.
Well, okay, I guess I have enough facts and logic to accept your challenge. Plus, it's convenient to have a voice other than mine for once. So, our first topic will be...
The games. I think I can win that one.
Wow, this is our first topic? Okay, first, I sadly need to clarify that I'm not talking about the games.
Hey guys, so one of my videos got stolen. And by stolen, I don't mean a little robber tiptoed into my house, took my video, now my video's gone. My video is still up, alright? They just recorded my video and uploaded it onto their channel with no credit for clout.
But Rice, what's so wrong with that? Doesn't that just mean more people are gonna see your video? And that means the creator liked your video?
Baby, that's an incredibly ignorant mindset, and also my heater just turned on, so my room's freaking loud now! Ignore the background sound, we just have some white noise on now, folks. It's relaxing, it's ASMR. Am I talking too loud into the microphone? Anyway, today I'm gonna educate you on... Okay, I'm still talking into the... Today I'm going to educate you on why this is not a good thing, and if you already know why this is not a good thing, congratulations, you're intelligent. So as far as I know, this channel in particular only started posting about 2 months ago, and within the short span of 2 months, they have posted 60 almost hour-length video compilations of stolen content. No credit to any of the artists or voice actors or editors who made these videos. No credit at all, and no permission asked.
But Rice, how do you know they didn't ask permission? You don't know that!
Let's have a little think, alright? Let's have a think. They stole one of my videos. Do you think they asked me if I wanted to be in their little compilation thing? No. They didn't ask me. They didn't ask me at all.
Well, maybe they didn't ask you, but they asked everybody else, because they hate you!
God damn. That's a freaked up thing to say. But also incredibly unlikely. Everybody loves me, alright? Now, these videos don't get too many views, alright? They're in the thousands, yeah, but they're not like hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, I'm sure 1 or 2 of them are. I haven't really had a proper look. Okay, so wow, this has
Hello there, apologies for not posting in a while. I didn't know what to post about, and obviously I wouldn't clickbait you guys. On this video people have been telling me Pebbles wasn't nerfed, and it was just his animation. However, he was in fact shadow nerfed, meaning it wasn't at all set in changelogs. It's way easier to jungle distract with him now. Now, onto the new stuff. I'm sure by now you've heard of these new animation. A lot of people don't like it. It doesn't show her personality and basically copies Glisten's animation. I personally like it, especially the fact it's similar to Glisten. Glisten admires V and tries copying her to be perfect, so it would make sense. Though I do also agree she should be more robot-like and her antennae should definitely bounce. I'm very excited to see what Quell changes about it and what new animations we'll get for Twisted V. Like everything else that will be shown in this video, there is no release date. I have a feeling it'll take a month or two though. Now, on to the next thing. I'm sure you're all aware of some trinkets not being used as much. Fancy purse, pull toy, nightcap. Quell said she was working to buff trinkets that aren't used as much. Which brings us to this new trinket that will be replacing nightcap. Star pillow. It looks so adorable. Tons of people said they would rather use this over Astro's current trinket. What does it do exactly? Star Pillow increases stamina regeneration by 100% when extracting from a machine, which is way better given Astro's trinket is worse than stamina candy. I saw multiple people saying it would go well with Sprout. He could run around and get all tapes or items, pause to work on a machine and gain stamina, and repeat. It works well with slow movement speed extractors or tunes with 5-star stamina. On to the final thing, which is not confirmed whatsoever. This is only a theory, a game theory. Bad joke, my bad. So, you know how we got Pebble's optimized model and animations. We got new items, new buffs, and a new tune, which was Yada the Panada, the second tune in the circus troupe. Highlight troupe for a second. Now, I'm not saying Quell will add new items. There's a chance. I'm curious as to what they would be. Remember how I mentioned Yada? I believe they'll add Blot the Mind, the third tune in the circus troupe. Again, this part isn't confirmed whatsoever, and you shouldn't get too excited. But if it's anything like last time, I think it would be. And about that buff to a certain tune. Quell did ask if she should give Razzle and Dazzle a buff, which is an active ability. It wasn't specified, at least I think, what the ability would do, but people say it's to switch between Razzle and Dazzle, so we'll go with that. A lot of people said,
oh, I love my
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Dandy's World Modded. Check Nugget out. Nugget got his hair did. Nice. Look at that. His bangs now kind of like move out of the way of his eyes so he can see better. Yay. That's pretty cool. But that's not why we're here today. We're here today. Well, if you remember my video, the last video I did on Dandy's World Modded, we met Cody. And if you remember me saying Cody and Jesse both are not released yet. They're still finalizing some things, and the update will be coming in the near future. I have early access to them. We're gonna check out Jesse today. And if we take a look at Jesse, Jesse has 3 hearts, 2 skill check, 4 move speed, 4 stamina, 2 stealth, and 3 extraction. That's a pretty solid tune right there. So check that out. We're gonna use Jesse today. What trinkets shall we use? So if you know in the original Dandy's World, they updated or they upgraded, they buffed Astro's trinket. So now there's this Star Pillow. The Star Pillow increases stamina regeneration by 100% while extracting from a machine. So you know what? Actually, I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna use this just because I haven't used it yet. So that'll be fun. But let's go ahead and get on the elevator and check Jesse out. Look at those big old ears. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Holy moly. Sorry, guys. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're new. I appreciate all of your guys' love and support. Here we go. Let's check out Jesse, you guys. Okay. I can't get over how cool Jesse looks. Honestly, those big old ears just swinging like that. I mean, back and forth. Okay, okay, I need to lay out some mad. Apparently people are dying already. Bandages, get your band-aid.
How can a Roblox YouTuber with over 5 million subscribers and over 3 billion views in total on their channel turn into one of the most hated YouTubers on all of Roblox, if not YouTube itself, and upload the most brain rot content, resulting in getting exposed by tons of YouTubers? In today's video, I'm going to be explaining how Avocado Plays ruined her reputation, but real quick, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It would mean the world to me as I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. But either way, let's get right into it because this stuff is pretty crazy. Now, for those who don't know who Avocado Plays is basically one of the largest Roblox YouTubers, and she originally started back in 2020 when she created her channel, but she didn't upload her first video until 2023. Her first video was an Adopt Me YouTube short, where it showed her just trading or making sort of like a skit. These Adopt Me videos she uploaded started to gain millions of views, which would grow her fan base very, very fast. And this would result in her basically pumping out as many of these as possible, but it wasn't for a while until she switched the content that she's making today. You see, if you were to go to her shorts today, you would notice that there's been a massive switch in her content. And in fact, why don't we watch one of her most recent videos? Like this one, when brain rot takes over the family. This video has 211,000 views, and why don't we react to it right now?
This is the end of the world.
Alright, bro, what are these
The brain rot
faces?
is coming.
What? Bro. Bro, what is... I don't even know what that is. Alright, you know what? I'm not going to subject you guys to any more of this. You guys can get the vibe. They basically just do hyper-edited brain rot YouTube shorts that are so high-level brain rot. Like, this is like probably the most craziest brain rot videos you could possibly make. I don't think it could get crazier than this. But I mean, these videos are very, very successful, with many of them gaining millions of views. And in fact, if you were to go to her YouTube shorts, you would see her most popular videos have over 20 million views on each of them. And what's even crazier, if you go to her channel analytics, in the past month, I'm not even joking, her channel has gotten 381 million views in the past 28 days, bro. She's likely made well over $200,000. So I mean, this brain rot is making a ton of money. Now the thing is, Avocado Plays doesn't only make YouTube shorts. Well, in a way, she sort of does, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. You see, have you guys ever seen those Sniper Wolf reaction videos where she like sits on the side and like plays a clip and does like some little simple reaction? Well, it seems like Avocado Plays is doing the exact same thing, because if you guys were to look at her YouTube videos, like her full videos, not shorts, you guys would see videos like this reacting to my best music shorts, 3.7 million views, and it's 11 minutes long. It's literally just her reacting to her own videos with characters on the side. So she basically gets to recycle all of her content, all of her shorts that she made into a longer video to make her even more money. I mean, let me just show you guys a portion of this video right now. Bro, what are these faces? Bro, what am I watching? Bro, I'm starting to rethink my whole life. If this person's making $200,000 a month off of just reposting their own videos, it's insane. But the thing is, the amount that I've been joking around and the things that I've been saying, it's pretty serious as well. There's some weird things on the channel that she's been exposed for very, very recently, including her thumbnails and the things she's doing in her videos. Like, for example, I'm actually gonna like censor out most of this, but it's basically just a character with its like butt out and then someone screaming yacht and stuff like that. And a lot of these thumbnails are very, very exaggerated and also quite weird. And then reacting to the weirdest Squid Game shorts, and it literally says yacht games and it's someone just showing their butt. A YouTuber named Nivalk made a video a few months ago where he said this.
This is clearly meant to attract kids with the attention span of a water molecule. Dog. How do people not find something wrong with this?
I mean, yeah, he's not really wrong. These videos clearly attracted the audience of like kids. If you were to go into the comments of her most recent video, you guys would see people commenting just like random like brain rot things like you can see on screen right now. And the thing is, she also has another channel called Vava_RP, which has 352 million views and 1.1 million subscribers on it. And this one is basically just uploading YouTube shorts in Brookhaven. And I mean, these are insane. Like, Karen Mum picked Gucci over daughter's life in Roblox Brookhaven RP. Bro, I can't even take this serious. What is this video? But this is literally just like role-playing videos inside of Brookhaven, and it's just the most brain rot videos possible. I mean, it's pretty sad to say, but a lot of people, like, you know, they spend a ton of time working to get barely any views on their channel, and there's people like this that just make the most crazy brain rot content and just instantly get views. Now, the YouTuber known as Lemmy805 basically made a video on Avocado Plays a little while back, and there was a couple things he put in his video that are honestly pretty disgusting and possibly some of the worst things about Avocado Plays in my opinion. Basically, what he found is something that was being promoted in her bio that is honestly very, very disgusting, and after you hear what I have to say in a second, you guys will understand how this is even worse, but let me just show the clip from his video right here.
If we take a look at this old screenshot back when they had 3 million subscribers a few months ago, this link that is censored, it takes you to a free Roblox website. Now the actual website, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's just a really dumb, stupid blog on how to get free Robux or whatever. But the problem was that there was a bunch of weird advertisements on this website, and if you were to click on it, you could potentially get a virus.